hope you're having a great day. We're going to do a little maker's tip here. Dirk's going to show how he does all of his marking for his maker's marks. Tell us a little about it.
So I use salt water, which is not the general thing that most people use. I use a power supply. It's a low budget way of etching most metals. We've got Dave Smith coming past. He's a member of the Georgia Guild. He's a fellow maker, and we're going to go through the process.
And down the road we'll do another video and show you how I put my maker's mark on the products I make. So y'all stay tuned and enjoy.
So what do you need? You need a power source. It has to be a DC power source. I have a power supply that I got off eBay. Theoretically, you can do it with a 9-volt battery. You need some salt. You need a container to put your solution in. You need some water. Gloves are always very important when you're working with electricity and water. You need some Q-tips, some tape, a stencil or a resist. Now I make mine with a vinyl cutter and I just stick it on there. You can get some different stencils from different places, but we'll get into that when Alan does his video. You need, and what I use is a stainless steel pin, and we'll go through how I attach the Q-tip to the pin and use that as a pad instead of having the electrochemical etching pad in there. Something to wipe what you've done, and I always like to put the metal on a piece of paper towel just to make sure whatever's underneath it doesn't get sprayed with any of the salt solution. And that's what you need. Okay, as with any marking procedure, you want to make sure that where you're marking is clean. So a little bit of rubbing alcohol, wipe down the area. I prefer rubbing alcohol because it evaporates, where acetone might leave a film. Let's apply the stencil. Make sure it's rubbed down completely. And what I like to use is endorser tape. Amazing tape, by the way. And I just mask off a little bit more of the area around where I'm etching, just to ensure that there's no chemical going over onto the other metal. And this is especially important when you're doing a blade that's been mirror polished, because you don't want anything to mess with that. Alright, so now I'm ready to etch. Next step, let's make the solution. Solution is just normal table salt, normal iodized salt. And what you want to do is you want to do a little bit of water. It doesn't have to be a lot of water. You want a high concentrate of salt. And you can see I'm just mixing that in there. Maybe slightly a little bit more water. Has to be super concentrated salt water. And we'll just mix it in and we'll let it sit for a minute or two. And while that's sitting down, so on the power supply, what I do is I use 14.5 volts. Now you could probably do it with 9 volts, you could probably do it with 12 volts. I've just found that 14.5 is the magic number for me. And yet again, ensure that you're safe. Make sure that when you switch on your power supply that the two leads are not touching. Set your voltage. Alright, I switch it off. Your positive has to attach to the metal that you're etching. the negative I attach to my metal rod, my stainless rod, and what I do is I add the Q-tip onto there, ensuring that the metal of the rod is actually touching the Q-tip. Now this is just duct tape that I've used to insulate the rod, just did again for safety purposes. Alright, now we're ready. Switch on the power supply. Okay. Swirl your solution. Saturate that Q-tip with that salt solution. And gently apply it onto your stencil. You will hear, I don't know if you'll hear it in the video, but you'll hear a sizzling sound. Now the longer you etch, obviously the deeper the etch will be. If you just want a small surface etch, it's a short amount of time. Now you'll also notice that there's some vapor coming off of the etching. I try not to breathe that in, so if you want to use a mask you can. And you just carry on etching. Now I prefer a deep etch, especially when I'm doing my mark. You can buff it, you can do all kinds of finishes on it which will make it stand out more. If you find your solution is getting a bit dry and you want to apply some more, just dip it in there again. And you'll see that there's a reaction between the Q-tip and the metal, and it will bubble up. And there we go. Important. Switch off the power, disconnect, throw away the Q-tip, disconnect the positive, grab your piece of paper towel and gently pat the fluid away. Now after you've done this, you can either remove the stencil and use it as is. A trick that you can use as well is you can get some of the Casey blue and gently apply that on there as well. It'll give you a darker mark. I would also go and neutralize it, maybe with some Windex, just to ensure that there's no reaction between the solution and the steel that you don't want etched. And let's have a look. Let's see what it's done. There we go. Nice deep etch, and done with salt water.